Hi, everybody. This is Boris Schlossberg with BK4X. Welcome to our monthly series of webinars with Pepperstone. Today's webinar is Trading MT4, MetaTrader 4 like a pro. And as always, I ask you to read this disclaimer because trading Forex carries a high level of risk, obviously for all investors, and high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. So before deciding to trade any such leverage products, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money you cannot afford to lose. The single most important sentence in this disclaimer, please remember that. Today's webinar is going to be about helping you to control risk. As much as anything else, it's really going to be about helping you to control risks in a methodical, mechanical, algorithmic way, which is really going to help you basically not only hopefully succeed in the market, but preserve and survive in the FX market. So without much ado, this is really what makes MT4 so useful. MetaTrader 4, for those of you who don't know it, is the world's most popular retail trading platform. I have no idea how many installs they have. I would imagine it's in the millions. Virtually, I think every single margin-based broker in the world. And really, the irony of the whole thing is I really wish more brokers in the world would use MT4 for everything. I'm talking to you obviously from US where we don't have CFDs and we have to trade futures. And there is no futures product that allows you to trade MT4, and I really wish there was, because with this platform's such a useful platform for virtually any financial product. The great thing, of course, for you guys with Pepperstone is that you have access to everything, from FX to CFDs to indices to anything else that you want to trade. Today, because I'm an American and because I don't get a chance to trade any of the great products that you guys have under the Pepperstone umbrella, and because really my bread and butter of what I focus on is FX, I'm just going to simply show you how to use MT4 in FX. But everything I show you is completely fungible, completely transportable, totally applicable to any other instrument that you want to trade. So if you have any questions or doubts, don't. You can apply all of these rules to any instrument that you want. So I think I want to start, with a quote from Steve Jobs. Ironically enough, we just had the Apple demo, Apple X. I don't know if you guys watched it on the web. I did on Tuesday, of course, because like every person in the world, we're all curious to see what Apple's going to bring next. But the principal idea behind Apple, the principal idea behind what Steve Jobs really tried to do his whole life is to show you that the computer is the tool that makes man dominant. I think I forget what was the. This is the quote actually. I think this is it. So I read the quote from him. Is a very, very famous quote. It says, "I read a study that measured the efficiency of locomotion of various species on the planet. The condor used the least energy to move a kilometer. Humans came in with a rather unimpressive showing about a third of the way down the list. That didn't look so good. Then someone at Scientific American had the insight to test the efficiency of locomotion for a man on a bicycle. And a man on a bicycle blew the condor away." That's what a computer is to me. The computer is the most remarkable tool that we've ever come up with. It's the equivalent of a bicycle for our minds. And going a step further, I would make the exact same analogy to MT4. MT4 is the bicycle or the tool set, whatever you want to use for our trading. It's what makes any trader an extraordinary trader if you know how to use it. It simply takes any of your human abilities as a trader and amplifies them in a much better, stronger way. It allows you to do a couple of things. First of all, you can trade faster. And I will show you exactly how and why you can trade faster with MT4. You can trade more accurately. Oh, sorry, hang on a second, guys. I'll close off our Squawk Box from London. And the other thing that it allows you to do is trade with much greater precision. You can enter literally on 1/10 of a pip and exit on 1/10 of a pip without futtering around with your fingertips. But I think the single most important part of what MT4 does is it allows you to control your risk. I will show you several ways of how MT4 can control your risk today. But ultimately, this is the single greatest value of this product. I can't tell you how many times, and I'm sure many of you guys have had this happen to you, where you've been in trades, the trade didn't have a stop loss on it, and you stepped away, and boom, all of a sudden, the trade went monstrously against you because of some event risk move, and you were essentially stuck trying to decide, oh, do I want to hold on to this position and nurse it, trying to get it back to health, or do I want to get out now, take a massive loss? Generally, it's a deer in the headlight proposition. There's just really no good answers to that, to being in that position, and most of the time you wind up losing your account. I'm actually curious how many of you guys have had that happen to you, because I don't think you really become a true retail trader until you've had that happen to you at least once, but probably maybe about 4 or 5 times before you finally learn how to control risk. Anyways, these type of unfortunate events, which all of us experience, it's just part of the business, is what MT4 is really good at eliminating, really good at controlling. Precision, risk control, accuracy. These are incredibly, incredibly powerful things that MT4 can do for you. So let's take a look a little bit at the platform itself, shall we? Let me see if there's any questions ahead of time. Is there any questions, Fabian? Is everybody sort of following along?
So far, so good, Boris.
Okay. So, as I said, I'm not going to give you a step-by-step explanation of MT4 and what it is. I want to give you an eagle's eye view and then show you its true functionality to use on a day-to-day basis as a retail trader. But first and foremost, there's a couple of very good habits that I think everybody should follow. And one of those habits that I am absolutely adamant about is that MT4 itself, the program, should really be housed in the cloud. Now, I'm actually curious. Just type in desktop or cloud. By cloud, I mean VPS. So for those of you who don't understand what I'm saying by cloud, and I'm just curious, how many of you trade MT4 from your desktop, and how many of you traded using VPS? Because, and you know, it's fine that you trade it through your desktop or through your laptop, but understand that you are essentially giving up 50% of its value by doing it this way. And the reason why that's such a bad habit and why trading it in the cloud is such a good habit is because MT4's real value is that it works 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. It doesn't stop. And your own personal computer does not. It crashes, it stops, it closes, it goes to sleep. It does a million things that stop the performance of your trading engine. And that's why the first habit that I recommend, anybody who downloads MT4, this first thing they should be doing is opening up a VPS account. Now, what's really nice about Pepperstone is they have a very, very good deal with a company called NYC Servers. And so if you use this little piece of software, now what you're seeing right now is a Mac. MT4 doesn't even work on a Macintosh. I'm on a MacBook Pro, my new version, which I absolutely love. But Microsoft has this little, very handy piece of software which is completely free called Microsoft Remote Desktop. If you're a Windows user, they have a Windows version. If you're a Mac user, they have a Mac version. And this is your little piece of software that allows you to log in to what's called a virtual private server, basically a place in the cloud that is a Windows-based environment that is run by somebody, not you, whose only job is to maintain and perform that computer 24 hours a day, 99.9% of the time, meaning that once you load your MT4 into that space, it almost never will crash. It will not go down. It will operate continuously. So in this particular case, this Microsoft remote desktop piece of software, obviously you can see I have a lot of different clouds here, but let's go to Pepperstone, which is the NYC Pepperstone servers, right? I'm going to log in and sort of, you know what, just bear with me a second. Let me just show you, for those of you who are interested, how this works. You see the each time you're going to be signed up for this account, they're going to give you just simply a IP address, usually the username, which is always administrator with a big A or a small a, and a password. And you can change the password if you want to. And you just simply type in these three things, and that's all you need to do. The software will remember the login. As you can see, my login is already remembered. And just hit continue. And now, I'm going to give it a second. I'm going to scroll down because this is, give it just 1 second. What happened to my, oh, here we are, sorry. Yeah, I had to scroll down a couple of screens. Now, what you're seeing is a full Windows-based computer that I'm controlling through my Macintosh, right? It's, we are basically in a Windows environment. And this Windows environment runs MT4. Now, I've already logged into my MT4 account. This is a demo account, but it's running on a real server that Pepperstone set up for me. And I'm going to just sort of show you the basics of the software. And then we'll show you how you can use this software for all sorts of trading functionalities. So far so good. Any questions? Everybody understands? Virtual private server, NYC servers, right over here is the, just simply speak to your Pepperstone rep. I'm sure they'll be happy to set you up and tell you how this works. They have a special deal with them. Or they may have, at this point I don't know, but I believe, Fabian, is it still your primary VPS go-to guys? Maybe there's some other guys there, but the point being is there's
they are, of course.
They are, okay, and they're very good. I've used them; they're really good. You see my, so I literally have never had my software go down with those guys. This is a live account that I'm trading here, and you see the quotes are quite good. I'm actually might as well take a look at the pound here, just see how the pound is trading ahead of the BOE. Anyways, so MT4. Here's Windows-based software, can only run in a Windows environment, but using a VPS, we don't have to have a Windows computer to run it, right? So I want to show you kind of a broad outline of the various major parts of this software, and then I'll show you some key execution scripts and execution expert advisors that can help you trade. First of all, as you can see, the big parts of this piece of software are divided into these little component modules, right? And these are the key component modules that you want to be very familiar with. The Market Watch window is the window that gives you all your quotes. And I'm going to show you the way I set things up. You can follow me or not follow me. You can modify what I do. I'm just simply going to show you what I think are good habits to do. Now, the Market Watch window, which is this little bay window over here, by the way, and you can turn them on, turn them off through the View menu. So let's say I wanted to get rid of Market Watch window. I would hit this, and it would go away. Then I would hit this and go Market Watch window. I could also hit Control M, and it comes right back, right? So every part, every one of these little modular pieces is modularized. It can come on, come off, come on, come off. That's a key thing about this piece of software. That's nice. But these are the primary pieces of real estate that we all look at all day long. Now, when it comes to Market Watch, it obviously can pull any financial instrument that Pepperstone trades, and it's probably in the thousands. I'm focusing today, as I said to you, on FX. And the key thing is I'm just only going to focus obviously on what we call the majors, which is the 8 key currency pairs: euro dollar, dollar yen, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar CAD, Aussie dollar, and Kiwi dollar. And you can arrange them by literally dragging them up and down. So let's say I want Kiwi to go ahead of Aussie, which it shouldn't go. I know. Okay, don't worry, everybody. Everybody in Australia knows that New Zealand goes behind Australia. No, I'm just kidding you guys. The point being is I have these, the reason why I have all of these guys arranged up and down like this is really in order of liquidity, right? What's the most liquid currency? Euro, then yen, then pound, then Swissy, then CAD and Aussie. It's probably, honestly, it should probably go this way. It should go odd, CAD, Kiwi, right? If you want to do it in terms of liquidity. But I'm North American, so so I have a North American bias, like we all have country bias. The most important thing that I want to show you about the market watch window is that generally most people have it at bid ask, right? I like to, and you can, have this or not have this. You see this high-low check mark? You can uncheck it, and then you won't have the high-low, or you can check it, and you can have the high-low, right? I absolutely always want to have the high-low values on all the currency pairs. Back in the olden days when I was just starting in the business and dealing rooms were, everywhere, I never forget this, that the first time I ever walked into our dealing room back when I started the business, they had on a whiteboard the high-low of the day, the high-low of the week, the high-low of the month, the high-low of the year. And I never forgot that because I realized that this is the reference points that the market looks at. This is what the professionals look at. You can talk to me about moving averages all you want. You can talk to me about, RSI breaks, ATRs, whatever obscure functional indicator you're working on. I guarantee you, 1 out of 1,000,000 people is paying attention to that, and the one that doesn't have any money behind him. But the people with money, the people who really trade and control the market, pay attention to the high lows, which is why I really recommend you always have a high low, because breaking of one of those barriers, one way or the other, almost always is going to be a significant point throughout the day, right? The longer it goes. So I like to have it this way. That's the market watch window. The next window, the next panel, it's actually, I should call it a panel, is basically a panel that compresses all the key functionality of MetaTrader in here. Your account information, which goes like in a tree-based form, the indicators folder, which allows you to obviously trade all sorts of indicators, the expert advisor folder, which holds your expert advisors, and the scripts folder, which holds your scripts. Now, what is the difference between an expert advisor and a script? An expert advisor is basically a full-fledged program. It's really, they call it an expert advisor, but it should be just called a robot program, right? It's a program that can literally run continuously or can run based upon how you trigger it. But the point is, it's self-automatedly trading. Once you put it into motion, it can actually stay in motion continuously. It can buy, sell for you in 100 different ways. And there's 1,000,000 different expert advisors out there that do lots of different things. A script is also a program, but the difference is that a script is a single task execution program, right? It's kind of like a one idea program versus a full rich, multi-logic based program. And that's the key difference between expert advisors and scripts. So everything is arranged into nice little folders. You have an account folder, indicators folder, expert advisor folder, scripts. We're going to get back to this in just 1 minute, but let's take a look at the rest of the panels. So the final panel here, underneath here, is your money panel. This right now I have no positions in here, and this is fake money. Don't worry, I'm not gonna, whatever I trade, I'm not gonna hurt myself here. This is where you look at to see where all your positions are, what your current state of equity is, so on and so forth. Underneath here is 1,000,000 different tabs, and I'm not going to go through each one of them, but I'll just sort of give you an idea of what I consider to be the most important tabs. Of course, one of the most important tabs is the account history tab, and you can pull up past history. The way you would do that is you would right-click on this, I wonder if I guess I would go all history. I don't even have. Oh yeah, here's and it will tell you all history in a chronological manner, and you can sort it by clicking on time, by clicking on by size, by clicking by symbol, right? Alphabetically. You can do this a million different ways. This simply allows you to look at all of your history. We're going to discuss how this particular piece of information we can use in a much more user-friendly way as a journal. I'll show you how all of this can get exported into your journal. Now, when you look at the history numbers here, the little red means that you got stopped out. The little green means that you hit your take profit. Now, here's the other interesting thing that you need to appreciate about this. Even if you got a little red and you got stopped out, right? Look at this. It doesn't necessarily mean that you lost money, because if you moved your stop to a positive number, in other words, if you trailed your stop into the money, if you use the trail stop function, the MT4 is going to still show you as a red exit, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's a non-profitable exit, and that's a key thing. So don't despair if you have, I've had a trail stop algo sometimes, and all of these things look red. And you would say, oh my God, this, I've done nothing but lost money. But no, you haven't. You've actually made money all the time. You've simply stopped out on your exit instead of take profit on your exit, right? It's just a convention of the software. But obviously, this, if you lost money, this will certainly be red, and it will certainly show this to you. So that's the account history tab. And then the other tab that is important, your mailbox tab. You're going to get mailboxes from Pepperstone. And maybe your journal tab, if you want to take a look at it and just see what's going on in the functionality of your thing. Really, other than that, I don't want to get into all of the other details. Some of these tabs are basically marketing tabs. Others really don't apply to basic trading. But the most important part is the trade tab, the account history tab, and probably the mail tab, right? Let me kind of stop here and just let everybody digest. Any questions?
Yeah, hey Boris, one quick question. In the Market Watch panel, so next to each currency pair, you've got a flashing color that changes. Do you know what those represent?
I'm sorry, a flashing?
The flashing colors next to the currency pairs, for example.
Yes, great question. So if it's green up, that means the bid is going up. The currency pairs, they're buying the currency pair. If it's red arrow going down, that means the bid is going down. They're selling the currency pair. All it is just simply showing you the next tick, right? So you see, like your dollar over here, it's 1901, and remember, it's going by 1/10 of a pipette, right? It's going all the way out down, right? So right now, pound dollar, we're ahead of the Bank of England, 5 minutes. A lot of positioning. Right now it's 32.07 bid. Now it goes down to 66, so it's red. Right now, let's just watch pound dollar. If it's 63, it's green. Right? Literally every whatever tenth of a pip, if it's up or down from the prior tip, it's going to just simply tell you that. So don't get too hung up on it. Not that important a thing. It's just simply the tick thing. Okay. All right. And then of course you have the chart panel. Now, there's 100 different ways to set up the chart panel, and a lot of people like to do it this way. You see this little like a 4-screen breakup thing. You notice, for example, that I have right now 4 different currency pairs in this particular panel, and I like to look at it a single currency pair per tab, right? So I like to tab it out like this, right? Tab it out like this. But if I want to, a lot of people like to do it this way. They want to see all the currency pairs all at once. So if they do it this way, then they can get tiny little charts, windows of what they're doing. Okay, and that basically allows you to watch all your screens and all of your charts. This actually, it's not a bad way of looking at stuff if you're following a lot of different stories all at once. I'm generally always following sort of 1 or 2 stories at once, and I'm happy to flip around. And for purposes of our demonstration today, I'll just, instead of us getting all crazy on all of these things, I'll keep it in a single window. Now, one interesting thing that you may notice is there's this like big flashing panel, right? I like to have this flashing panel on every one of my charts. You can remove it or add it. Like, just you see this little triangle over here? Just clicking it up, clicking it down helps you remove it or add it. I always like to have it because obviously it's very easy for you to see the prices if you do it this way. But you don't have to do it this way. You know, you could just simply remove it and just watch the chart price if you wanted to. But I like to add it and keep it this way. Another thing that is a little trick that a lot of people may not, even some of you who are seasoned players may not know, is how do you quickly change the currency pair. Let's say instead of euro dollar, I want to see euro pound. What's the euro pound quote? You see what I just did here? I clicked right into this right-hand corner. Just right-click. Open up the white. If you click in here, it will create a white space. And then I will type in, and the Pepperstone convention is to simply type in the actual pair. No dashes, no anything else, nothing like that. So right now I took a look at the pound. I'm actually, let's just take a look. Let's just see if we can do pound yen, because obviously pound is going to be going all over the place. So here's pound yen. Ahead of the BOE rate decision, just looking at various things. So you can change without having to create and pull down a new chart and everything else. You can quickly and instantly change your currency pairs. Okay. All right. Very good. So this particular account pretty much comes in as a default account. And it comes with a whole bunch of stuff that MT4 stuffs into your account. I left it this way specifically because I want to show you what I do before I create my own MT4 space. You don't have to follow me, but I really like to have, I like to have a clean desk. I like to have a clean piece of software, and I like to get rid of the garbage that everybody always, installs on my piece of software. So let me just take a couple of minutes and show you the way that I like to clean out all of what I consider to be unnecessary stuff. You may think it's necessary, but I consider it to be unnecessary. So the way you would navigate, and this is interesting, the way you would navigate to all the various indicators, templates, everything else, is by going File, Open Data Folder. And where's my thing? Oh, there it is. Just sorry, took a second to pop up. Now I just opened up two of them. Now, yeah, I don't need two of them. I'm gonna close this up. Sorry. Okay. The reason why you go File, Open Data Folder is because if you were to actually navigate in the Explorer window to the location of where all these files are, it's incredibly confusing. Look at this stream. You see this whole tree location. It's roaming, MetaClose, terminal, blah blah blah. Right? Who needs it? You can't get to any important data until you do Open Data Folder. Then you get right down to the central directory that you need to look at. So the central directory comes with a whole bunch of pre-formatted stuff. Let's take a look at what they come first. Expert Advisors, the robots, the actual piece of software, is housed in what's called the MQL4 folder, right? We go right in here, double click here. Hang on a second. And underneath there, you're going to find the experts folder, right? So MQL, then experts folder. Now, they give you, I'll give it just a second, they give you a couple of free robots. I find them to be totally useless, or just, I just find them to be, I like to have, as I said, I like to have a clean desktop. So I'm just going to click on this and delete them. I click everything. Don't worry about the MQL cache DAT file. We're going to delete everything. Let me see if I can, did this delete? Okay, it's just taking, sorry, just taking a little slow time on my VPS here. Delete this too. Okay, good. Right? Now I'm going to navigate back up to MT4, and I'm going to navigate to the original, this very, very long Windows key number directory. I'm going to go to my templates folder. And you see there's a whole bunch of templates over here, right? And I don't like any of them. And I don't like to have them in here because they just make my life complicated. So what I'm going to do, and again, I'm sorry, it's just super, super slow here. If you guys don't mind, if you instead of if you just give me just 1 second, I just want to see, because I think it's probably because it looks like what happened here. Cable is rising, so I guess you know, the Bank of England made a positive. Right now is the Bank of England decision, so we see cable really spiking up over here, right? Maybe it's stressing out the system. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close out. I'm just going to close out the MT4 and then restart it just to see if I can get it to be a little bit faster. Okay, so I restarted this. Hopefully this is just going to be a little bit faster for us. So let's go to File, Open Data Folder. Still taking quite a lot of time. I think I'm just going to abandon trying to do this task because it seems to be that everything is very, very slow. Here it is. Okay, let's see if I can get a hold of this. I'm going to go into Templates. Wow, it's really, really slow. My apologies, guys. This is the danger of doing live demos in real environments. It looks like the cloud is just under a lot of stress. All I'm trying to do here is delete this. We're going to give it a second. I'm just deleting all of this stuff which I consider to be nonsense, which I don't want. I don't want any of these templates in my folder. Okay, it's really. I'm going to delete all of this. Right now, my whole templates folder is very, very clean. And let me show you why I want to do this. Right, I have a template called Eurodollar, and I'll show you. I'll be happy to share that with you if you guys want it. I'm going to drop it into this templates folder. Right, I'm going to close it up. And if I go in here, right, and I click this Eurodollar template, right, what you'll see is something like this. Now, if I happen to really like how this particular chart looks, I like having my charts look this good. And look at the pound really, really soaring. I guess they must have said positive stuff. I'm just looking here. Vote 72 keep unchanged. Sanders vote to rate hike. So more or less hawkish kind of a tilt. Okay, so however, the majority of MPC members felt some withdrawal stimulus would be appropriate. Yes, I mean, we're going through 33s here. So sorry, I'm just engaged in the exciting move here. Anyways, pound is really moving. But what you can see is this particular chart is very clean. This creates a very, very nice template for us and allows us to, I think, view the screen with much better capability than the original default chart. And now I can assign this particular chart to any chart that I want. So I can go into the Aussie tab over here, put my Euro, I call it the Eurodollar template, and just make it look like this and make it nice and clean. So that's the beauty of having a template that you like, and I'm happy to share this with you. If you guys like the way it looks, where the up candles are blue, the down candles are white, down candles are red, and everything goes to the downside, it makes it very, very simple and easy and clean to look at. Now, I've sort of taken quite a lot of time to go underneath the hood, much more than I wanted to. Let me just stop here, see if there's any questions for anybody. And now I really want to get to the heart of the matter. How do we use MT4 scripts to make our life a lot more useful? No
questions for the moment, Boris.
No questions, huh? Okay. Wow, okay. Hang on just 1 second, guys. I'm sorry, just bear with me. Huh. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna. I'm just watching Pound here. It looks like, by the way, everybody's. I'm looking at my own my other cloud VPS provider, and it's very slow there as well. It just happens to be that we've sort of put ourselves at a time when everybody is trading, so it puts a huge amount of stress on everybody's systems. That's why the software is a little slow. So my apologies for that, but. I think in some ways it's good because you get to see how this stuff operates in real market environments under high stress conditions. So anyways, point being is now let's take a look at some ways that we can automate a lot of things that are tedious and also can be very, very imprecise. There are here's my scripts folder, right? And I'm actually going to do one thing. I'm going to just delete no, I'm not going to delete this. I'll just keep it because this seems to be so slow right now, so I'll just keep it as is. So there are two scripts in this folder right now that I've installed. One is called the buy market and the other one is called a sell market script, right? Let me show you what can happen if I just simply drag the buy market script into this thing. I just bought pound dollar right now. You see that I just, by dragging it, I instantaneously bought pound dollar at the size I wanted, with a stop that I wanted and a take profit that I wanted. I believe this was I bought at 94, so my stop was 20 points and my take profit is 10 points. Right? You see that? By just simply dragging this little script, the buy script, I was able to buy pound dollar instantaneously at the size, stop, and take profit that I wanted. Just that little, act alone, is the reason why everybody who's listening to me should be using MT4. You simply cannot replicate what I just did. This is me. This is the human being on a bicycle beating the condor. You could never do it faster, better, cleaner, with better precision than just by using, a simple script like this, right? So obviously I can do the same thing on the sell side. Let's say I'm negative Aussie. I can just drag the sell script, and here I opened up a sell Aussie, a sell position. But what's very, very cool about all this stuff is that you don't have to rely. I mean, some of you may be asking, well, Boris, what if I want to trade one standard lot, and what if I want my stop to be 50 points and my take profit to be, or let's say, what if I want my take profit to be 20 points and my stop to be 10 points, right? What if I'm trading positive risk-reward ratios, right? No problem. All of this is super easy, and really watch me in showing you how to adjust this, and trust me, it is much easier than you may fear it to be. You don't need to be a programmer to change the key parameters that you would want these scripts to do, even though you are actually going to be doing programming right now, as I'm going to show you. So I'm going to click on the buy script. I'm going to click on the right-hand side, and I'm going to say modify. You see this little function here called modify, right? And what it's going to do is it's going to open up the MT4 programming editor. And this is the buy script, right? So give it just 1 second. Again, sorry, my apologies because it's really taking super slow time here to pop up. So in this particular script, right, everything is written out. Ignore anything except stuff that's in green. This is the stuff, and it tells you can change these numbers to what you want. So let's say I want to change this to trading, I don't know, 50,000 units, half a lot. And I want my stop loss. These stop losses, by the way, are in 1/10 of a pipette. So 200 equals 20 pips, right? Let's say I want my stop loss to be, I don't know, 50. And I want my take profit to be 20, just to change things around, right? Right? All I do is I've done all that. I've changed these things around. It's as simple as hitting the save button over here. Hitting, oops, no, sorry. Hitting the save button and then hitting file, exit. That's it. It's as simple as editing a thing. Did I just, oh no, I thought, did I get stopped out in pound? No, actually, the pound just made profit. The pound just profited for us while we're gone, right? Now that I've edited my buy script, all I got to do is, again, right-click on this and just hit the refresh button. Very, very important. Hit this refresh. When you do that, that will automatically refresh all your scripts. And now you're going to see we're going to get really aggressive with the pound. Here's the pound. When you get to the pound page, pound is really starting to rock again. Oh, it's coming back down a little bit. There's pound. You see, it's sort of really having a hard time stressing out. And I'm going to just buy the pound here. Okay. You see how fast now I bought the pound for half a lot, significantly more than I did before because I like the size. And my stop loss is 50 points back, and my take profit is 20 points forward, and it's all done for me, right? Now, here's something else that you can do that's even cooler. As cool as this is, you can do one other functionality that will make your life even faster. You can right-click on this, and you see this little thing that says Set Hotkey? You can actually set a hotkey to every one of the scripts that you have running here. So here's the buy market script, and the hotkey here is Control-B. And here's the sell script, and the hotkey here is Control-S. I've already set them up, but you would simply click on this, and it would, you could either make it Control or Alt. I make it Control with a B or an S. I like to just basically do it this way. And if you really want to make your life easier, you can actually rename. I do this sometimes. Well, you can't do it from here. You'd have to go into File and rename. But I like to rename these things with buy market Control-B. This way, it tells me right away that that this is the hotkey function that I can employ. So let's just, for argument's sake, let's say here's Euro, right? We can go to my template, and let's say, and now I'm not gonna drag the script. I'm gonna hit Control-B, right? And you see, I bought the Euro, and I bought the Euro super fast, right? It looks like my pound trade is working here to the upside. You guys are free to follow me, even though I'm trading demo and you guys are trading live. So the stress is a lot less on me than it would be on you. But I do think pound has a chance to go higher here off this news. It's kind of bullish. So might as well use that. But you see how much faster and how much better all of this is, right? Oh, and I bought the pound. I wanted to sell the Euro. So I didn't realize I bought the Euro. Okay, it's fine. Let's just say yen. right? Here's yen, and I want to sell the yen. I would hit Control S, and now I think you can't see it because it's already, yeah, there's the yen, and I just sold the yen. Now remember that I pre-programmed my buy to a much larger size than my sell. This was just to show you. But if you're a day trader, and if you have a set size trade that you want to do, you simply program that size relative to your account. And my recommendation is always that if you have an account that's 10,000, your maximum size should be 40,000. You should never trade, if you're day trading, more than 4 times your equity size. So you can preset all that, get that going, and get it running. And right now, I don't even know if it was a take profit or let's go into account history. And I don't even know what happened here. Something resolved. I guess. Oh no, sorry. We gotta go time. Oh, here it is. Sorry. So these are the trades that I just did with you guys that TP'd over the last couple of minutes, right? And you can see that in the thing. Okay. So how's that look to you guys? That any questions on that? Does everybody have a understanding of how this works?
So far, I think everyone's on board. I think they're just curious on how to get their hands on some of the scripts.
Well, these are free scripts, and we're going to provide you all these scripts. After we email you, I'm going to obviously coordinate this with the Pepperstone guys, but they will provide all of these scripts for you. They're free. They're completely easy to use. They're public domain, and so you guys will have full access to them. We'll email you the proper links of where you'll be able to download them over the next couple of days. So these are just the buy-sell scripts. Now I wanted to just show you a couple of other scripts that are really, really valuable and that I'm going to install for you. And because we're running a little bit short on time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the scripts that I consider to be of most value. But we'll be happy to show you all of the scripts eventually. So right now I'm going to take. So I'm going to just do this. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. I'm going to open up two Explorer windows. So this is a window of all of these scripts that I've zipped into a drive, and here's my MT4 window. I'm going to go into my scripts folder, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay down all of the scripts that I consider to be of value. Close all trades. Close all trades current. Modify all. And change template all. These are the most important scripts that I'm going to have. Why is nothing moving? Why is nothing moving? Let's see. Is it just because it's slow? Let's see if I can just do this copy and paste. Yeah, okay, very good. Okay, so these are the 4 primary scripts that I really want to put in here. Close this up, and all we do, back into our scripts folder, we're going to just hit the refresh button. Again, once we hit the refresh button, that makes all these scripts which were dead code become live code, essentially code that can be used for further functionality. So where am I now? So I have like all these trades, right, trading out here, and I'm actually, looks like I'm getting killed on a couple of these positions. Looks like, what is, oh, my euros, yeah, this was a, I didn't mean to go long euros, so you can forgive me for this mistake. But let's just say I'm looking at this whole thing and I say, you know what? I just want to get clean. I just want to get clean. I want to get out. See this script called close all trades? I'm going to. Oh, sorry, everything just froze on me right now. Let's see if. Okay. Okay. So see the script over here called close all trades? I'm just going to drag it on any chart I want, and boom, I got out of my whole position. I got out of everything, all of the trades that I had, right? Instantaneously. Close all trades. This is very, very valuable for anybody who wants to trade quickly. Because how many times have you been in a situation where you're like, I got to hit every single, if you were to do this manually, you'd have to hit every single one of those lines to get out. And sometimes the computer is slow, sometimes it's frozen. It does all those things that are very, very difficult to control. So close all trades, instantaneously control, kills all trades. Let's open some trades. I'm going to hit Control B on this. Control B on this. And Control S, which is I'm going to be selling this. Control S on this. All right. Okay. So just for argument's sake, I'm fooling around with different positions. Just want to show this to you again. So I have all these trades open, right? And I want to close them all, right? Now, remember I showed you I could drag the script, but what if I wanted to do it faster? What if I wanted to set a hotkey to it? So now, the close all trades, I usually, because it's all, I like to associate it with the letter A, right? And I will say Control A. Say set, and then close. Okay, and now, if I want to get rid of, look at this, I'm up $10. Oh, let me get out of here. I'm up $7. Boom, Control A. Boom, they're all gone. I just made money. You see that? Could you have done that manually? I doubt it. I doubt you could have locked in all that profit manually that fast. So I just killed all my trades. They were net positive, and I collected all this money, right? So let's open up this part again. I'm going to sell euros. I'm going to buy yen. Oops, sorry. Those of you on the Mac, by the way, make sure, this is very, very important, that you're using the Control key, not the Command key. Command key does not work in a Windows environment, so if you're on a Mac, use the Control key. So I'm going to buy more. I'm still bullish pound. I'm just going to buy pound until I get fat and happy. Okay, so here's the thing. So you see I have like dollar yen positive, right? Let's go to dollar yen on the chart. What if I just want to close out my dollar yen position, right? Just close out. I can be very specific and granular and say close trades of the current chart, right? And now I just closed out just the dollar yen, and I banked a little bit more profit. See, I put like it was 75, now it's 85, right? Just that kind of precision. That kind of, what if I just want to close out my pound? I go to the pound chart. This is very important. You got to go to the chart though. You want to be at the chart, and you could say close current chart, right? And is this closing me? What happened here? Yeah, it closed me out. Okay, took a while, and it closed me out. Now, one last little trick. If I want to make this faster, I set this to a hotkey. And what I like to do on a current chart, it's up to you, but I like to call it Control K, Control Kill, right? That's what I associate with closing out. And let's say I want to kill. What is I'm in the euro. I'm on a euro sell. I click on this and I say Control K, and I just closed out my euro position. So Control S, I'm going to open up more positions here. Control B. Control B. You really should not be putzing around with. I should just stay long cable continuously. Now I have all this granularity, right? I have all this granularity. I can kill a single trade. I can kill all my trades. and obviously I can open any given trade with a predefined stop and a predefined target, right? All very cool, all super fast, all in no way, shape, or form possible without computer intervention, right? Without these scripts being available to me. So, any questions on this? I want to show you, and then I'm going to show you one final thing that we can do with all of this stuff. Any questions, Fabian?
Yeah, mostly around obviously where they can get them, and also what are the limitations. You know, can they be set for multiple orders at the same time, or pending orders and things like that?
These particular scripts that I showed you are market entry, and there are other scripts that allow you to have pending orders. Yes, absolutely. I'm sort of a little bit short on time, so I didn't quite show you all of the pending scripts. If you guys are willing to hang out with me for like an extra 10-15 minutes, I'll be happy to show you the pending scripts if you guys want to do that. Is everybody open to that? Then I'm happy to show you the pending scripts as well. They're kind of very, very cool as well. But before that, let me just end my whole risk control demonstration here by showing you one final script, right? So say I'm in the pound, right? Here I am in the pound, right? And the pound trade is, the take profit is 34. In this particular case, the pound is 34. And let's say I'm like, you know what? I like the pound, but if it goes to 20, I'll be happy to have my take profit go to 20. So all I got to do is drag this particular little script, right? Modify take profit and stop. And here I can literally type in manually what stop loss I want. Let's say I want my stop loss to be 132.70 at this point, right? But I want my exit to be 133.20, right? Oh, wait, sorry, the price is already too high. So it already started while I'm talking. So let's say my exit is, ooh, wow, forget it, never mind. I got, there we go. I told you we should have all been long pound. Okay, never mind. I can't change. Even when I try to make money, it just runs away from me. Sorry about that. Okay, let's do yen. Okay, sorry, I was. Everybody enjoy that little profit move in the pound. I hope you guys all got long for real. I told you it was a buy. Okay, let's go to. We should have just made this a live trading session, Fabian. It would have been a lot more fun, right? Let's go to modify my my yen position. My yen position has a 110.83 exit, right? And let's say I want to make my exit, I don't know, 110.65. What is it? It's trading 63 now? 110.65. And my yen has a stop at 110.13. Let's say I want to make my stop. I want to tighten my stop to 110.30, right? I type in though just my stop and my take profit. All I got to do is boom, type that in, say okay, and boom, everything has changed. Right now I'm like within a point or two of my take profit. Right? Kind of cool. Right? Everything is totally changed, and it's all done. Okay. All right. Now let's kill everything. Control A, kill everything. Oops. Got to make sure I have the focus on the thing. Now I've killed everything, and in my wonderful demo trading world today, I've actually, look, I started with 10,000 and I ended up with 1070 without even trying. So you can see how trading with all these scripts really helped me out. And this is actually, by the way, sort of I'm being facetious, but that is really the point of this whole demonstration is, you see, I was busy with a million different things. The software was slow. The VPS was lagging. Blah, 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 a million different things were bothering me. If I was doing any of this manually and I had to reset the targets and I had to reset the stuff, none of this would have happened, right? I wouldn't have been able to collect the profit. Look at the pound right now. Pound is already 15 points below where I exited. Below where I exited. And if I literally exited like 3 points away from the high today, right? If I didn't have the software to automatically take care of all this stuff, right? I wouldn't have been able to bang the money. You know, too bad it was fake money, but you know, it would have been real money for me in real life, and you can see how valuable it is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed all of these little scripts. We'll obviously make them available to you. One other thing that I was going to say is what I do with a modify, because this is a modify script, I like to call this Control M. That's, again, up to you to how you want to name these things, but I like to call it Control M. And that helps me modify. I just simply close it, and that will automatically go Control M. Okay? So there are two pending order scripts which give you like multiple entry, multiple exits. If you guys are willing to hang out with me for 5-10 more minutes, I'm happy to show this to you. Does everybody want to hang out, Fabian? Should we keep it going? Fabian?
Sorry, Boris. Yeah, everyone's keen to stick around for 5 more minutes.
Okay. All right. So let's do this then. Okay. So let's go, and just bear with me because we're obviously a little slow because of all of this stress on the servers. So I'm going to just show you what we call sell limit and buy limit multiple entries, right? These are exponential scripts, and they're kind of really wild. So let me go back into my open data folder. Okay. And we're going to go into my MQL folder, MQL key folder, and underneath that is the scripts folder. And let's see if I can do this in one shot. Okay, so sell limit. Does this drag? Let's see if I can drag this. Yeah, it should drag. No, it's not dragging for some reason. Okay, oh, it's just taking its time. It's super slow. Oh my God. Wow, it's so slow. I'm so sorry. Okay. This drag? Yeah, it is. It did drag. Okay. And then I'm going to do buy limit. Okay, all right, very good. Guys, just, again, stress on the system. Okay, I've installed this buy limit multiple, sell limit multiple. I'm going to hit the refresh button to make sure the scripts are activated. And, okay, let's get crazy. Let's get crazy. Okay, here's pound, right? And we're going to drag the buy limit multiple script on here. Now, this is what's known as an exponential script, right? Let me show you what it can do. You go into the inputs folder. And first of all, you start with a seed value. So just to show you, I'm going to start with a very, very small value, just the smallest possible value, 0.1 lots, right? And this is the exponent. The exponent by default, I made 1, meaning that it doesn't multiply. But if I made this exponent 2, that means every additional layer of buying is going to go by multiple higher of 2. I'm going to leave the pip distance at 5, meaning every 5 pips down, I want to be a buyer, right? And I'm going to make this just to show you how crazy it is. I'm going to give you 5 possible levels that I'm going to buy at. Now, pound right now is trading 133.18, so let me just see if I can buy it at 1.3316. Okay, we're just going to go underneath here. I'm just going to lay it down here. And so what you see here, you see how the software super quickly layers a stream of buy points. And if pound were to kind of fall into this basket, you would be able to buy up huge amount of pounds, and the harder it fell, the more pounds you'd be able to buy. So you'd own 16 lots versus 1 lot, or 16 mini lots versus 1 mini lot at 32.96, right? And then if you filled up your whole position, or if you filled up, let's say, 2 layers of your position, and then it went back up, you could scale out of the position. You could use Control A, Control K, or Control M to modify your exits and entries any which way you want it. So the point being is that this creates super fast. In no way could you ever replicate this, manually. The ability to like layer out a whole basket of orders. I'm sure a lot of you probably really like this. I'm sure a lot of you probably like doing this, right? Everybody likes, we all know that we want to buy retraces. We can't sometimes get the correct. We don't know where the bottom is, but we know that the region is a bottom. Somewhere in this region is going to be a bottom, and we want to be able to accumulate positions within a region instead of just simply doing a single price entry. And this makes it very, very easy and very, very exciting. Oh, sorry. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. So now the first layer, like the 16 layer, came in. So if it goes down to 11, we're going to buy a second layer at twice the size. You see, this is we open up a small size, then we have the large size. And then, we have the 4 size and the 8 size, right? Any questions on this, Damien?
Not on this particular topic, no.
Do you guys like this particular script?
Yeah, we're getting some yeses.
Okay. So let's do one more, which is this sell side, sell multiple. So I'm going to lay this down on the euro, right? And we're going to go into the input section. So the euro is 1880. So I'm going to do, let's going to get crazy on the euro. I'm going to do a 3 exponent, meaning it's going to multiply by 3. And by the way, I didn't even go into the details of this, but this can be multiplied by fractions. So let's say I want to do 2.7, not even 3, but 2.7 exponent, right? And 5, I'm going to go five trades, and in this case, I want to sell the euro at, I don't know, 118.80. Starting at 118.80. And, here, let me pull this up so you guys can really see this. And, here's all my euro order. So if the euro decides to rise, so boom, I'm in the first layer of euro. I'm in the first layer of euro, right? And then if it rises up against me, I'm going to be scaling up by size. And remember, I used a 2.7. I didn't even use a 3. So this kind of averages out. This automatically is smart enough to know, and then it will multiply it out by the next closest whole number. So by the 5th level, I'm at 53 mini lots or micro lots on the euro offer at 1900, right? So very cool, right? It allows you this incredible flexibility. It allows you to do a lot of portfolio trading, right? Let's say you're just, I don't know if you guys do this. Some of you may do this, but during the day you're basically looking at charts and you're saying, there's a region, there's like a whole area here that I want to be short at. There's a whole area here that I want to be long at. Or if this area is broken, I really want to ride this thing, higher. And there's another script here which I didn't just give a chance to show you because we don't have time, that will actually buy up. Like it'll create a whole bunch of stops. And as the price is rising, it'll keep on buying in larger and larger size. That's a very ballsy strategy. Most people really have a hard time doing that kind of strategy, but it allows you to do that. So this is the absolute beauty of using MT4 and all of these scripts, which are completely free and easy to use for everybody. And you can see they're not hard to use. You don't have to be a computer programmer to use them. They're literally drag and drop and just type in the values that you want, and most of the time you don't have to do that. And you create your own hotkeys, and you can do whatever you want. And so now let's just say I'm in this position, and I just want to get out of the whole position. All I do is hit Control A, right? And everything got out. I'm out. Computer just literally closing me out completely, right? Boom, I'm totally out. And I end the day with more money than I started, which is always a good thing, even if that money is fake. But, hope you guys enjoyed this. Now I'll leave you to any questions we have. Sorry I ran out a little bit over time. And apologies again for the slow kind of speed of this stuff, but it was all actually, I think, very good. The perfect demo is one that shows you real life, not the one that shows you perfect execution. So hopefully you guys saw how this works in real life. Go ahead. Any questions?
Sure. I've just got one here now, asking about, would it be less risky to layer these scripts with larger lots on the initial movement and then pyramid to smaller positions? So start off, for example, with a 1 lot buy, and then above that have a half lot, and then a micro lot. Or would it be just as risky to do that?
No, it's, well, the answer to that is it all depends on where the price goes, right? Generally, if you go inverse, right? If you buy the most at the first price and the least at the lowest price, you kind of defeat the purpose, right? Because if you buy the most at the first price, and the price has gone against you into your last layer, right? You're down. You're down in the position, and you're buying the smallest amount of money at your best price. So the recovery rate becomes much slower. Like, you can do this, but I don't see much value. I mean, there is a method to the madness of martingale. The method to the madness of martingale is that you have the largest position at the best price, which gives you the quickest recovery rate. Now, obviously, the madness of martingale is that if you don't ever get a chance to repair, you just lose everything, and that's why it's very, very important to have control. And that's why I showed you these scripts, but I warn you that they're very, very powerful, and you really need to think through exactly how much, what size, what's your maximum size and what your maximum loss in any of these positions is. But, and this is the other cool thing, it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible to pick the right price on the first time, right? We just, it's like being a sharpshooter. We're just not that good. But if you can kind of establish a position in the neighborhood, right, and using this particular scripts, this allows you to establish a position in the neighborhood, you have a much higher probability of success, especially if you obviously start with a very, very small position. Basically, you assume. See, I always assume. I think it's really, really valuable when you trade to assume, to be humble, to assume that you inevitably will be 90% wrong, instead of being arrogant and assume that you'd be 90% right. If you're coming in with any kind of strategy where it's a single entry at a particular price, there's an embedded assumption in that execution that I am correct. I know exactly the bottom. I know exactly the top, and my precision is so great that I will succeed 70–80% of the time with my precision picking skills. I happen to think that I like the opposite assumption, which is I have zero clue whether I'm right. I kind of have a general idea or a high degree of confidence that this broad area is a pretty decent area to buy or sell. And I want to give myself the absolute highest chance of proving myself right by not being arrogant. And and that's why scaling up or scaling it down to the position, I think, can be very powerful. So, but it's up to you. I'm just telling you what I think are the embedded assumptions in each particular strategy and why, how they express themselves in the marketplace. These scripts, essentially, what they do is they express algorithmically what it is that you're doing intellectually and emotionally in your strategy, right? And they do it super fast. That's the key thing. So, any other questions? Anything else on your mind, guys?
That's it for now, Boris. I think we've covered most of the main questions.
Okay. Well, my apologies. As always, I drag you guys for longer, but I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found all of these scripts very useful. And for those of you who've never traded MT4, I hope you had your eyes wide open to the power and the possibility of the platform. I highly recommend you guys all trade on Pepperstone with MT4. And I highly recommend that if you do have MT4, everybody get in there and talk to your Pepperstone rep and make sure you get the NYC servers VPS, because it's just much faster. It's just much better to know that you can run something 24 hours a day continuously. In real life market environments, trust me, it's a huge advantage. So thank you so much. Email me if you have any questions. We will get all of these scripts over to you, and I'm sure Fabian and the crew will coordinate this with you guys, and all of this will be coming to you in the next couple of days. Thanks again for hanging out. I will be with you guys in about 2 months. Kathy will be doing a webinar next month, and I hope you guys enjoyed this.